Barnes and Leslie, we are your Morning X. The ticket window coming up here in just a few minutes, and you will have your last shot to get in to Better Than Ezra.
We mentioned this beginning Monday, of course, all the details Monday morning at 7:20 about the showdown. And when I say you should listen to the Morning X, you should listen all morning to the Morning X. Something big will happen for you. Right, Barnes? A payday? A little payday?
Well, I do think it's a big payday, not to your level of make you rich, which came out of your mouth. I don't know if that's it, but it is a very respectable payday, and let's just call it what it is, a bribe.
Well, I wasn't going to go that far. I was thinking more like a reward for listening.
No, it's
you call it a bribe, I call it a reward, a thank you.
And I would say you don't have to drill down.
So do you have to listen intently? Do you got to be glued to the radio or?
I think your previous knowledge of the show combined with passive listening could pay off. That's really all I'm legally able to say.
Oh.
Yeah.
We want to thank our friends at getinthering.com.
Yes, because, they're already saving me over $2,200 a year.
Yeah, so thank you.
So now they want to give you more money just for listening to our show. So that'll be Monday, 7:20, around this time. All the information for you. Okay, let's talk about another 7:20. One where Leslie's going to be really nervous. Sting will be on our show on Tuesday. Of course, he sold out Tuesday night. Leslie.
Should I bring up the time that I had to interview him on the floor?
Were y'all doing yoga?
He was. I walked into a room to do an interview, and it was dark, just some candles around the room, and he was on the floor doing yoga. I had to do the interview on the floor. I don't even remember. I was so afraid that I had a little DAT player to record, and I was like, I hope I'm turning this thing on, because I couldn't see anything.
Man, knowing what I know now, I would have never trusted that.
I know.
I would have never trusted sending you in with technology and Sting at the same time.
I left the room thinking I know it didn't work, but guess what? It did.
And having to do downward dog the whole time.
Right.
Yes, with Sting.
Every breath you take. Okay, so we're going to open it up, and you can ask Sting a question. You yourself will come face-to-face with Sting. Just send it ahead of time because we don't want any wise guys. So send me what you're going to ask. Send it to hi@themorningx.com, hi@themorningx.com. Last thing we need is to piss off Sting because he has the show that night. Let's keep it clean. This Liam Payne story from, Wednesday, late afternoon, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the details that are coming out, too. It's tragic, first of all, if you think about it.
Very.
Because, there's all these TikTok videos of him a half hour before it all went down.
He looked like he was happy. He put all this stuff on Snapchat. He looked like he was having a great time with his girlfriend. But now, as we unravel the story, his ex-girlfriend, Maya Henry, they were engaged at one time. Less than a week before his death, she had a cease and desist letter against him. I guess he was, quote unquote, sort of harassing her. She did go on TikTok, too, talking about it's always from different phone numbers, too. I never know where it's going to come from. I guess he was messaging her over and over again.
Yeah, but she was doing a book. So
she was doing a book called Looking Forward. She alleges that her ex, whom she doesn't name.
Oh, okay. She doesn't name him.
She doesn't name, but associates with One Direction fans. Come on.
Are you kidding me? That's what she said instead of naming him?
Yeah. Continues to blow up her phone, and apparently he was traumatized over the breakup with her.
She was just on a podcast, and this just came out days before this thing happened in Buenos Aires, right? Where was it? Argentina.
Yeah, it's in Argentina.
Argentina. Yeah. Here's a clip of that podcast.
He would always message me ever since we broke up, like, oh, I'm not well. He would always play with death and be like, well, I'm going to die. I'm not doing well. I know the lifestyle he lives, and there is a day where something bad is going to happen. So I would always be like, okay, he's saying these things. I have to help him because if I don't, I will never be able to live with myself if something does happen to him. There was one time I tried to get him help. He was like not taking it. And it's just always the same cycle. Like, for example, when I announced my book, he did the same thing. He told my mom, I think I'm not going to be around much longer.
That is pretty scary that comes out just a few days before that happened.
And now all these One Direction fans are on socials blaming her for his death. Obviously, he had a lot of problems. He talked about his mental health openly.
Yeah.
What's with all these women riding the coattails? Like they're all trying to get famous off of him, and I hate that. I hate seeing that.
It's really sad, especially, he's leaving behind a 7-year-old son.
Yeah, that's a really bad story. And another one lost to fame, it sounds like. It sounds like he struggled with that, since he was 14 and even earlier when he was getting into the business.
I mean, think about how big they were. I mean, my God, that band, when they first came out, I mean...
Huge.
Yeah. I couldn't even imagine that kind of fame.
No. We already have it, Crash.
Well,
You're the most
Crash,
famous
come on.
traffic guy on the planet. Crash
thank you.
Clark, 11 Alive. Okay, this weekend, not to even go lower, but Georgia coming to see Texas. And I thought, after yesterday and you guys beat me up, and, with all your predictions, I'm the only person in this city who believes Texas has a chance. Although, Crash, you kind of supported a little bit.
I have a feeling it's going to be a Texas beatdown.
Ooh, now that wasn't me. That was Crash that said that.
Wow. I mean, you did get beat up, Barnes, by our listeners.
I know, but I am a giver. So I wanted to give you, if you're going to the game, because I know a lot of you are, and I wanted to give you a couple of places to go, because nothing worse than going to a city you don't know where to go.
Yeah, right.
So, and Leslie, what would your absolute be if you're going to Austin?
Well, the food scene is incredible, right?
Easy.
I mean, I would just, and you have to have barbecue.
Yeah.
Obviously I talk about Salt Lick all the time, but there are great barbecue places.
Yeah, Franklin's is one of the best.
Franklin's is great. I'm good with Stubbs too.
Pro tip, if you are getting in around lunches, and I can take that all the way up till 2 o'clock today, hit the Salt Lick in the airport. It's really close to the main exit. Just keep walking till you see it. And then, biggest key, if you leave in the morning, whatever day you leave, get the breakfast tacos at Salt Lick. Just saying.
Can I mention just go down South Congress and spend the day?
All kinds of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Food trucks everywhere. Every food truck is good. If you see a food truck, stop.
What about 6th Street? I hear that's
that's where I used to live in college. I lived on 6th Street across. You want to do a little tour? Go by the Driscoll Hotel and look up to the left. Those balconies. That's where I used to live in college. And it's not the best anymore, Crash. Now it's really become 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th. It's that whole zone. Another great breakfast taco place is Veracruz. They have a few locations. Look it up. And fish tacos. Check out Ensenada on 12th on the east side, so just on the other side from where the stadium is. And that you used to not be able to go over there. You would get mugged, killed, shot, whatever. Now it's been clean for several years.
And remember, if worse comes to worse and you're out till like 4 a.m, there's always Whataburger.
Whataburger's, that's a done deal. I mean, Whataburger in Austin, absolutely.
Barnes, you have to mention where to see the bats.
Yeah, you got to go see the bats. Like behind the Four Seasons Hotel, there's a whole area on the lake, Lady Bird Lake, and the bats are probably gone by now because it's a little late in the season.
Because of the weather.
Yeah,
that's true.
But it's going to be in the 80s this weekend, so you might get some bats. And again, we'll be having a service after the game if you want to come to my hotel room for some, to be consoled. I'll give you a little hug, and then we'll be friends again, right?
I don't know, man.
You just said it's going to be a beatdown.
Because I know what kind of team Texas is. They are the most complete team in college football. There's no denying that. Even if you're a Bulldog fan, you got to admit that. The Bulldogs have got to be perfect. Otherwise, they will get beat down.
But you've played no one, Crash. You Longhorn people, you've played no one.
I guess we'll find out then.
Barnes, I have another recommendation.
Yes.
I love this. The best place to see the sunset in Austin is the Oasis on Lake Travis.
It's kind of a hike to get out there, and don't drive drunk. It's a ways.
So worth it though, right?
Yeah. And don't forget our Oasis here off of Peachtree Industrial Boulevard, a really nice place to see the sunset.
All right. All in all, though, have a great game. If you're going to Austin, it's a great city. Enjoy all the food. Get out and do something. You're going to like it. Get out, and what we learned this week, touch grass.
Yes, touch grass. Get in touch. Get out and do your thing. Yep.
And I can't say this very often, but I'll say it now.
Oh.
Hook 'em. This is the original. It is 99X.